To the May 5th, 2022 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please.
Mr. Margaret.
Here.
Mr. Lund.
Here.
Mr. Perez. Here.
Any conflict of interest statements of the board?
No, sir.
No. Approval of the minutes of the meeting of April 28th, 2022.
Good.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve those minutes?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Wait a minute. Where's the bids at? Oh, they're in here.
All that thing?
Let me get these here. Which one's first? Item 5, bid opening. Number 1, Alexander Avenue reconstruction from Martha Street to 167th Street. Okay, here we go. Okay, first bid will be from Reith Riley Construction Company Incorporated, Gary, Indiana. There we go. Let's make it easy. Procurement of documents, okay. Well, there's the bid, non-collusion affidavit. Form 96, and where's the bid proposal. The total amount of bid for Reith Riley is $1,926,869.65. Again, $1,926,869.65. That was Reith Riley. Second bid is from Milestone Contractors North Incorporated, Griffith, Indiana. Okay, we have the bid proposal. It's itemized bid. Bid bond. Form 96. And the non-collusion affidavit. And the total amount of bid for Milestone is $1,805,381.50. Again, $1,805,381.50 for Milestone Contractors North.
Good morning to the board.
Morning.
Morning.
Mr. President, I would ask that we refer this to our consultant, American Structure Point. Ms. Gina Sessions is here this morning as a representative. If you could refer that to the consultant for review and tabulation and recommendation,
Okay.
I would appreciate it.
Okay, then I will make a motion then to forward this to our consultant, American Structure Point, for their review, tabulation, and recommendation.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Number 2, demolition of 964 Summer Street, also known as 5614 Howard, rear 1244 Indiana Street, 4712 Holman Avenue, AKA 4714 Holman Avenue, 5213 Holman Avenue, and 2405 Calumet Avenue. Okay. Two. Okay, 2 it is. First bid for demolitions is from Acton Contracting LLC, East Chicago, Indiana. Okay, have a bid proposal. Form 96. Non-inclusion affidavit. Certificate of liability insurance. I think I touched them all, yeah. Make sure I didn't forget. Okay, and Acton's bid price is $346,345. Again, $346,345. That was for Acton Contracting, East Chicago, Indiana. Second bid is from JM Industrial Services, Hammond, Indiana. Number Form 96, bid proposal. Non-collusion affidavit and liability insurance, bond. And the total price for JM Industrial Services is $223,850. Again, $223,850, JM Industrial Services.
Mr. President, request that those be sent to inspections for Mr. Kearney's review and recommendation. He's indicated that he believes he can have a recommendation by next week. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then I will make a motion then to forward this to inspections, Mr. Kearney, for his review and recommendation.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That concludes our bid openings. Number 3, quote opening for the Holman Avenue striping project.
Mr. President, this is for restriping of Holman Avenue between 165th and Douglas to mirror what had been done south of 165th on Holman Avenue. The quotes were solicited and they are sealed and presented to the board today for your opening.
Okay. First quote is from Traffic Control Specialists. Thank you. The bid proposal for traffic control specialists, or the quote, is $168,006.20. $168,006.20. What's the name of that? Traffic control, okay. Yep. Second quote is from Traffic Management Company. The quote from Traffic Management Company is $207,850. $207,850.
If you could refer this to the engineering department for review. We anticipated this project, who it was designed by our engineering consultant, would have been less than $150,000. I will review these quotes and make a recommendation to the board before the next meeting.
Okay. I will make a motion then to forward these quotes to the engineering department for their review and recommendation.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Matters from department heads and/or their representatives. Okay, let's move on to correspondence. Item A, correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, recommending that Brandon Kerwin, Zachary Steele, and Alex Mendieta, thank you, be appointed as probationary members of the Hammond Police Department and to serve their one-year probationary period effective April 28th, 2022.
Make a motion to approve Chief Short's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, correspondence received from Dean Button, Capital Improvements Board, requesting $66,649.78 and $82,062.22 of CIB funding be allocated for invoice number 1 and invoice number 2, NICD Downtown Hammond Station, Russell Street Pedestrian Tunnel, submitted for.
This are the first two invoices to NICD to pay their design, build, joint venture contractor consultant. We have an agreement for betterment of the NICD Westlake extension to accommodate the downtown Hammond Station. So that this is for the Russell Street pedestrian tunnel that was requested by the city to have an underpass under the grade slope up the Westlake that starts at Douglas. So there'll be a pedestrian underpass. This is the first two of the invoices. The total amount will be about $1 million, but we're approving the invoices through the Capital Improvements Board as we receive the invoices. I've reviewed this with our city controller, and she's in agreement with that. You'll notice that the funding allocations have been approved by the city controller, by Hammond Mayor Thomas McDermott, and the Capital Improvements Board, and I would ask for your approval.
Okay, then I'll make a motion then to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's two sheets. for
Yeah, but
each-
the
for each.
totals are the same for both.
No, the second group should have
Oh,
another two
okay.
sheets.
Yeah, it wasn't, okay,
Yeah, they were consolidated under one agenda item.
okay.
One of
All
the
right.
sheets goes to stays with the board, and one goes to the clerk for their records.
Okay, got him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item C, correspondence received from Dean Button, Capital Improvements Board, requesting $30,000 of CIB funding be allocated for professional services with First Group Engineering for the infra application, Columbia Avenue from 165th to Michigan, and corresponding agreement submitted for approval.
The federal government has about $3 trillion of money available that they're soliciting projects on. The deadline for submission is May 23rd. We are scrambling to put together a application to receive those funds, and so primarily this is to provide a reasonable estimate, cost opinion for the project. I expect it to be about a $20 million request, and I conferred with Mayor McDermott that this would be an acceptable way to move forward on this, that we would actually hire for the application because it is somewhat a heavy lift early on, and so I would ask your approval. The city controller has agreed, as has Mayor McDermott and the Capital Improvements Board, and I would ask for your approval of the funding allocation and the contract.
Okay, then I make a motion to approve the funding allocation and the contract at Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the signature by the Board of Public Works and Safety for the final tracing, I'm guessing, of DES number 1901784, Indianapolis Boulevard and Michigan Street, new northbound right turn lane, submitted for approval.
Federal aid project, yes, sir. It's the large sheet for your signature. The final tracings are the submittal to NDOT, the final to get approved. So this requires the Board of Public Works and Safety's signature by all three members. That way we can make the filing for the final plan submittal. We expect this project to go to bid later this year for perhaps even a completion of construction this year. It's really simply a new northbound right turn on Indianapolis Boulevard at Michigan. A traffic study was done by Lear Seeding, and at the time it was noticed that the traffic volumes in that turn movement were high. Subsequently, NDOT has proposed a double westbound left turn, which is the alternate turn movement at that location. So this will help to accommodate that as well. So we just really simply need your signature, and I'd ask for your approval on that action.
Okay, then I will make a motion then to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item E, correspondence received from First District Councilman Mark Kalwinski requesting $15,000 of gaming funds be allocated for Hermits Park miscellaneous maintenance and improvements submitted for approval. I would say that the request has been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor and well as the city controller.
Okay.
Yep.
I will make a motion then to approve Councilman Kalwinski's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item F, correspondence received from 6th District Councilman Scott Rakos requesting $67,500 of gaming funds be allocated for improvements to Palmer Park, submitted for approval. The request has been signed by the councilman as well as the city controller and the mayor.
Make a motion then to approve Councilman Rakos' request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item G, correspondence received from Grimmer Construction requesting to restrict traffic on Goslin Street and Sheffield Avenue in order to complete the placement of surface asphalt starting May 9th, 2022 to May 18th, 2022, and early warning signs be placed before the closure.
Monday, we are significantly restricting traffic to put the final surface on Chicago, what we call Chicago Street Phase 1, which is really Goslin from State Line to Sheffield, Sheffield from Goslin to Marble Street. It's a full closure. All the surface asphalt, all the striping is going to go down. I have reviewed a message that's going to the residents and the few businesses that are on Marble Street to explain to them how they will be able to access their homes. At the end of the workday, at about 6 p.m., they're going to work long hours to try to get this done. We hope that it'll be completed by Saturday, which is the 14th. But we've asked for a little extra time, really, given the weather conditions. Residents will be able to access at Dearborn. So we'll post signs at Dearborn explaining to them that they'll be able to access their homes after 6 p.m. and have to leave before 6 a.m. So that the contractor can put the surface down. We'll do everything we can to manage that as best we can. The businesses will be able to have access at Marble Street, except at that time where they're paving Marble Street, and then they will have to take Dearborn to get there. And so that's the potential is that there'll be trucks that have to go through the neighborhood in order to do that. So we're trying to limit this as best we can, but this is really something that the only way to get it completed is in this manner to close the entire
So
segment.
Goslin's going to be closed totally
Totally
from State Line to Sheffield?
To Sheffield, including the roundabout.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's deliveries to the gas station and smoke shop there right at the State Line. So I'm wondering how they're going to have to access that from through the neighborhood, like you said.
The gas station, we are working everything we can to keep them open, right? That area, throughout the entire construction project, we were coordinating with the gas station there at the State Line. And so the contractor is going to do what they need to make sure that business has access from the Illinois side.
Okay.
So any traffic that is wanting to go westbound, they're going to have to just curtail through the neighborhood? Or
They
that's not
won't
gonna work?
be able to allow to go west on
Okay.
Goslin.
No. But once you get to State Line, going through the neighborhood by the gas station.
It
is
may
that
be
doable or
possible
no?
to get out at State Line Road
Right.
by the IHB, right, if you go through the
Okay.
neighborhood.
All right.
But for the most part, we're telling people just to go to 160, or to Sibley, or go north all the way to Boy Scout Road, right? I mean,
Okay.
those are the two ways to go, because, and that's really kind of been true throughout most of the project, right? When a lot of construction going on, we've had to send them that way. This is it's a 10-day closure, but we're hoping if all things work well, we'll get this done soon. Keep in mind that we have 2 railroad crossings that we're paving around, right? So we're coordinating with CSX and with NICTE. We'll have flaggers out there to make sure that we can work near the railroad during that period of time. So this is a highly coordinated effort, and we will get it done as quickly as we can.
Okay, then I will make a motion then to approve Mr. Button's request, or excuse me, Grimmer Construction's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Item H, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings. There's something fractious in there?
You gotta say it louder.
Oh, I will.
Okay. I'll make a motion to set those hearings for June 16th and June 23rd, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Matters from board members, Mr. Long?
No, sir.
Perez?
No, sir.
Nothing. Okay. Item 9, new business. Item A, right-of-way permits 4 submitted for approval from Engineering Department. P.H. Passion Ragnar Benson requesting a temporary closure of Lyman Avenue and the Monon Trail from 173rd Street to Lawndale. Mr.
Well, basically what that is just tying a sewer across the street to the new station, which they're stubbing it out right now. It should be closed maybe a half day to a day and stoned. They're tying it across to the west of Lyman.
But they want the whole road closed from
Just the one segment, it's going to be a soft closure.
173rd to Lawndale.
Right,
Oh.
so
I got it.
residents can get in there and out.
Okay.
So just, it's not going to take long whatsoever. So I would recommend approval. Thank you.
Okay, I'll make a motion then to approve the right-of-way permits.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item B, garage sale permits submitted for approval.
I make a motion to approve the garage sale permits.
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item C, demolition hearings for properties located at.
Mr. President, that was actually, we took off a couple properties that are set for the 12th, so there's nothing, no business to do there.
Okay.
No business. All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. Item D, agreement to rehabilitate property at 6017 Columbia, a garage.
Yes, we've been in contact with the owner. There's been an inspection. You should have a signed agreement. We'd request its approval by the board.
Okay, it is signed.
Make a motion then to approve the agreement to rehabilitate.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item E, 6812 Idaho, garage.
6812 Idaho, anyone here on that? This is a fire that occurred last year. The garage has not been repaired since that fire. I can show the board a couple of photos here.
I don't remember ever hearing this one.
We don't have any.
Oh, it's completely burned out.
We have given notice to Mr. Eric Geres, Geheres, via certified, regular, and publication. We do have good service. I'd request that the order to demolish be affirmed by the board.
Okay, I make a motion to affirm the order to demolish the garage at 6812 Idaho.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item F, 19 through 21 Mason, garage.
19 to 21 Mason, owners listed as a Patrick Ports, P-O-R-T-Z, with a Munster address and a Mason Street address. Mr. Ports here? Hi, how are you? This property, I've got some photos from the inspector showing, let me just read the description from Mr. Castro. Is he here today? Mr. Castro? No, all right. The description from the inspector is as follows. The garage is in rough shape. Ridge board has collapsed. Rafters are damaged by weather. And I have some photos. So let me show you. They're from a distance, but I'll get those to you here. Front of the house looks fine. It's the garage. And I'm just going to show these to you, ma'am. These are, I'm sorry. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yes. Absolutely. Is that the garage? That's the garage. Okay. And, do you have a little yeah. Sure. Absolutely. Come on up. My name's Kevin Smith.
Your attorney.
Yes. And so the city's position is we'd like to see the order to demolish affirmed due to the condition of the property. Mr. and Mrs. Ports, I think, are here to speak. You can come.
I'm his sister.
I'm sorry. Mr. Ports and his sister are here to speak to the board. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Speakerphone. Start talking, or I can start talking, which one I want.
Please, please.
This is my brother Pat Ports. He's the owner of the garage. He's legally blind, so I'm his sister here to assist him. My name is Judy Zabluski. He got notice of this, of the garage, okay? Upon notice of it, first of all, I want to make note, this address of 8230 Homan Avenue in Munster, I have no idea what that is. I mean, he's 19.
No affiliation.
Yeah, no affiliation to that address. I don't know where that address comes from. He doesn't know as well.
This is the copy of the treasurer, the tax bill. It says Patrick W. Ports, 8230 Homan Avenue, Munster, Indiana. That's where it came from. So that's what the county has as far as where the taxes are being sent. Okay?
Okay.
That's where, I'm just letting you know.
So that's
Wasn't made up.
Okay.
Does a correction need to be made through,
Yeah, so sir, the way to get that done is to make sure somebody gets hold of the treasurer's office. We just get it off what the treasurer said. That's a county treasurer, nothing to do with the city.
Treasurer's office.
Which means that either the deed, usually they pull that off the deed.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't know if 8230 was maybe an office or an attorney's office or a bank. It could have been any of those. So check with the county, because my concern would be that the tax bill would go to that address. And so if he's not getting a tax bill, or maybe he has a mortgage on the property, he's paying for his mortgage.
I have a mortgage in the bank.
And that's why it's
bank pays
getting
it.
paid. That's probably where that's going, but you may want to have that corrected so that if your mortgage is ever paid off, that way you're getting the bill to your house and it wouldn't go to somewhere else. So just, you want to maybe check that with the treasurer's office.
The treasurer's office.
Yeah, in the county. They can help correct that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that takes care of that. Upon his receival of this notice, I'm assisting him, as I said, and he has contacted several places, several organizations or businesses, contractors.
Listed under Hammond.
And he's got one that is willing to repair the damage to the garage, and he's got one also that would demolish the garage. He needs to make the decision which one he wants to go with.
Sure.
It is his desire from the board if we can have an extension of time to accomplish that. First of all, there was time just to contact these contractors for them to come out and inspect it. Then it took time to get their estimates from it. So we're just getting all of this now. But he does have two, one to demolish, one to repair.
Okay.
And so we would like additional time to either whatever he's going to do, demolish his garage or repair his garage. We're requesting from the board if we can have additional time, 90 days, 120 days to get this accomplished. Now, they both did say, because they're busy in their business as well, they might not be able to start for at least a month or a little bit more.
One had mentioned the one doing the repair would take a couple of weeks.
To get it done,
Yeah,
once he
once
starts,
they
once you
start.
sign it and once he starts.
Yeah, and just so that Mr. Forrest understands, the usual process here is that, of course, we always want to see things repaired versus having to knock them down. So we're happy to hear that he's going to do that, that's great. We've done, as you know, for hundreds of these, and sometimes people follow through, sometimes they don't, not that I'm not making any judgment on Mr. Forrest, I'm sure he wants to follow through and will. So usually what happens is we request the board to affirm the order of demolition. The next step would be to bid it out. That usually takes 6 to 8 weeks, so nothing's going to happen during that time. And then, of course, after that time, we'll usually set a status, and then you'll have notice again of the fact that there'll be another hearing regarding the bidding of the work. And as long as you stay in touch with Mr. Kearney's office, he'll give you his information. We can get a rehab agreement in place, and then we can move forward with the rehabilitation of the property.
Now, I am waiting for, the 11th of May, I have an insurance adjuster for my homeowner's insurance coming to look at the damage.
Yeah, and I think that's the point, is that
Yeah.
the fact that you're gonna have 6 to 8 weeks before it
Oh.
comes up to bid.
Okay.
And as long as you're in touch with Mr. Kearney's office and the building department and your inspector, who's Mr. Castro, he's not here today, but I'm sure he'll be in touch with you, and things are moving, we're not gonna knock it down. We're happy that you're gonna fix it up. We just wanna get it
Okay.
fixed up in the near future. So I'd request the board enter the order of demolition with the understanding that we're going to stay at pending bidding.
Is that, you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to say is, due to my blindness, from the backyard, and I have not been out there in a number of years, but I couldn't see the damage. I didn't know there were holes in the roof.
Sure.
And you literally had to go down the alley or in the neighbor's yard to see it.
Yeah.
And nobody else had witnessed it to tell me about it
The number of times
till this last summer.
my husband and I, or any of his friends may pick him up and take him home, we never saw that, because you cannot see that part of the damage that he showed you from the garage, from the street. You
Yeah, the
have to
hou- the
go
house
in
looks
the
fine.
alley to
The
see that.
house is
And
fine.
had I known that, I would have directed it to my brother's attention as well. But all these years that we've gone by there, never saw any damage to the garage.
So it seems like there's going to be a 6 to 8 week window. What you folks are wanting to do seems that could be possibly done within that time frame. Keep in touch with Mr. Kearney, Chief of Inspection, as to, how far along in the process you're going. And correct me, Mr. Smith, before we would put a piece of machinery around the garage, you're going to have a chance to come back here, if need to, and plead your case. That's
And yes, absolutely, Mr. President, and if things go smoothly, we'll have a rehab agreement in place, they'll be repairing the garage, and then we'll
Right.
just set it for status and monitor, and then it'll go off the demolition list as soon as it's repaired.
Yes.
Understanding?
Approving the order to demolish.
So, yeah, we request the order be affirmed with the understanding that we're going to stay at pending bidding.
Gotcha. Okay, then I'm going to make a motion then to approve the order to demolish for the property located 19 through 21 Mason Garage.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Okay, nicely done. Item G, 6727 Woodmar Garage.
Mr. President, this actually, the agenda item should be 6724 Woodmar. This is a garage. I don't know if the owner is present, Mr. Marcos Medrano. Mr. Medrano?
I think we get a free.
All right, he's not here. We do have good service. This garage is in pretty poor shape. I'll show you the photos. See the damage. Given
We'll give you that.
the notice being perfected by certified regular in publication, we'd request the order to demolish be affirmed.
But that's bad right there. So we're approve it?
You're asking to
Order be
affirm?
affirmed as presented, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then I will make a motion then to approve the, to place the property on demolition order, sorry.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item H, rental registration for properties located at, and we'll just take them one at a time. Next, 6608 Parish.
Good morning.
Anyone from 6608 Parish?
EPM Properties? All right, so this property location was last registered in 2009. So we're actually here for registrations from 2010 through 2021, and therefore it would be my recommendation to forward this property to the offices of Smith Sursick so they can negotiate a settlement or agreement to bring the property current on the rental registrations.
Is it one unit, Nick?
Correct. It's a single-family home. I confirmed with the water department, it has been occupied by the same tenant who came in, signed up for service in 2009 when the property was initially registered. The tenant's daughter, who also occupied a property, informed the water department of her father's passing in 2018, and then subsequently the water department service account was changed to EPM Properties just recently in April of, I believe it was 22? Yeah.
Sir. Good morning.
Good morning. So originally, the property was owned by Enigenberg Builders, so it wasn't in the same entity. It was in two different entities. Originally, when it was purchased back in 2009, I believe, it was under a contract to sell. It's a sales contract. It wasn't rental. So that's why there was no rental registration for that. And so just recently, again, I forget the date, EPM Properties purchased the property from Enigenberg Builders.
I got March 4th of 21.
March 4th.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So my secretary is the one that, so what happened was the tenant or the people that were purchasing the property, they came to us and said that they no longer are interested in purchasing the property. They said that they wanted to just rent there for a short period of time, and then they were leaving, which they are gone. And so then we have other properties in EPM Properties, I believe about 14 or 15 other properties. And so last year was the first year that it was in EPM Properties for rental, you want to say, but it was just riding out the sales that we were doing for the property, and they did not fulfill their agreement to purchase. So that's why it was kind of in limbo. But
So just let me ask a question. So
Yeah.
from 2010 to March of 2021, this entire period of time, this home was under contract and those people were
It was
under
under-
contract living there?
yes, they were living there.
So
They
it
were
technically, in your mind, was not a rental?
correct. They had options to purchase the
Right,
property.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, during that time, was that money used then to go towards the purchase of the home?
If they fulfilled their agreement, which they never did.
Okay, we're going to need some help with this then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
the
understood.
reason
We
why.
understand that a little bit.
So I guess technically, I should have put it under the rental program last year when they told me that they weren't renting it. I mean, when they weren't purchasing it. But
Yeah, I don't think 2021, I think we can figure 2021 out, but it's the 9 or 10 years prior to that, it's kind of,
Yeah, so I mean, we have
Fuzzy.
we have other properties, and so,
Sure.
which we pay our rental registrations every year, so.
Mr. Kearney?
Typically, when they get in a land contract, it's a rent-to-own, basically the same situation. If it's not registered in the tenant's name, they're going to be responsible for the property. If there's violations or citations that need to be issued, it's going to go to the person that's on record, not the tenant that is into a contract that is not recorded with the county. We have no idea who that tenant is other than it's around registration. Without a rental registration and it being recorded, it's going to go back to the name in the county. That also is a factor when it comes to first responders. They're going to a house that the owners are listed, not the tenant that's actually there. So the information is vital to us. If they record it, then if there's any citations, we'll go to the tenant, the person that's on the contract. So
When
if they
did they-
record a contract, we have no idea who's in there.
Excuse me, when did they start rental registration?
2004, I think it was?
Was it 2005? Okay.
Well, it might have even been before that.
Yeah, I think they,
Way
Oh,
before
no, there
that.
always was, but at least as far as like starting to really
Oh, right.
push it and
Yes.
get enforcement.
Yes,
I mean,
2004,
there's
yes.
a rooming house statute that goes back to the 60s, so, I mean,
Yeah.
it was done through the police department before that.
So from chief of inspection's eyes, if it's under contract, it's classified as a rental property within the city of Hammond.
Unless it's recorded with the county.
and we always are willing to look at it and determine whether or not we feel, I mean, that's what Kelly and Nick just said, that's absolute. If it's recorded, we'll treat it as a kind of like a mortgage, like a secured instrument.
Okay.
If it's not, we've had exceptions in the past, but it all has to look at kind of the totality of the circumstances, right? We take a look at the owner, how long they've been there, whether they're up to date on their payments, and we usually talk to the person that's the contract owner, not the owner.
Okay.
The contract owner is gonna be the one that's probably gonna have to pay it, because if they're under contract.
Sure.
They're the ones that are saying, wait, I've been here, I paid all my payments, and I said, well, you need to record this document, and then they'll usually record it, right? So we don't have that person here, and I don't know if they're still in there.
No, they're gone.
They're gone, so,
No,
I mean.
they're gone.
And the other thing I would mention, and this is just like something that, in my recommendation is that, I kind of leave it up to Mr. Kearney, Mr. Annenberg here, but this is a new entity, but it's the same registered agent, it's the same principal, Mr. Annenberg's the principal of both, it's the same address of the entity, it's the same agent, they just, for whatever reason, he's decided to start a new company, and that's up to him, I'm not faulting him for that, it is what it is, but the fact is that there are rental, past due rentals owed by Annenberg Builders, Inc., and there are 2021 and 2022 rental owed by EMG. I'm sorry, EPM Properties
Not 22,
LLC.
because we paid it for 22.
All right, I'm sorry, 2021 from EPM Properties LLC. So, I guess from my perspective in the law department, when this comes up to me, I would recommend to Mr. Annenberg either that he should ask his counsel, or I would recommend to him that if you want to resolve all this, because you're the owner of both entities, let's resolve it through a collections process, because otherwise, if he resolves EPM today for 2021, which is before the board, I'm just going to go ahead and file a small claims action against Annenberg Builders, Inc., and send him a complaint where he's going to have to show up for court. If he wants to resolve the past due fees, we can probably do that like we do privately in private collections, and that way, you know, we're usually willing to work with you, take a lump sum payment to resolve a lot of the past due, because right now he's looking at $6,400 in past due payments. And I understand the argument regarding the contract, and if you could show me a copy of that and we can talk through it, we could probably resolve all the past due ones. I think before you today is 2021 for EPM, but that's not going to resolve the Annenberg Builders part from 08 through 20.
That's why, as far as I'm concerned, I don't even know if I want to resolve that. I think you should be better if you did everything at the same time.
And that'd be up to Mr. Annenberg. If he wants to proceed today, deal with 2021. If he wants to ask for continuance so he and I can talk about this for all of the ones from 08 through 2021, I'm happy to do that as well, but I'd leave it up to him.
If there's a reasonable agreement that we can come to, I have no issues with that. I mean, I guess it was a mistake on our part, and we thought that we were doing things correctly, but obviously we weren't. And so if we can come up with an agreement.
Yeah, we usually work with folks.
Absolutely,
To resolve, because we appreciate the fact that he's here, that he's asking for a resolution, but I think it'd be better to resolve all this at once.
If we were trying to hide, I mean, we have a number of other properties. So it's like, why would I hide on one property, you know, rental registration?
We're not suggesting that.
You know, that's $5, you know, so just clearly a mistake on our part.
So what should we set?
I'll give Mr. Annenberg my card, he can call my office. I would just defer this and refer it to Ms. Sursick for further proceedings, and unless Nick or Kelly have a objection to that. And then I'll work with Mr. Annenberg to resolve everything, and I don't think the board has to take any action. And if Mr. Annenberg wants to bring it back before you, I think he should have that option if things fall,
Sure.
don't work out between us, you should have the option to come back before you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, will do. Thanks.
Okay, then I'm going to make a motion then to defer 67, excuse me, we're at 6608 Parish, and forward it to Smith Sursig for, hopefully the homeowner, or excuse me, can come to some kind of resolution with the amount owed.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. 1033 170th Street, 2 units.
That was a lot to take in.
Ms. Patricia Sinclair? I don't think Ms. Sinclair is here today. However, I did notice there was an updated note in the system regarding this 2-unit rental property. They are current on their rental registrations, so therefore, no action would need to be taken as far as the rental registration hearing is concerned. However, I will be reaching out to Mr. and Ms. Sinclair regarding the dual homestead tax deduction that they are claiming on 1033 170th Street, the 2-unit rental, as well as their primary residence at 7135 Homan Avenue. So that would be the only issue I was planning to address today. But seeing as they're not here and there is no rental registration due, I request that the board dismiss action against this property owner.
Okay, no action on 1033 170th Street.
Thank you.
1126 177th, 913 May Street, and 1105 Summer Street. And for the record, Councilman Torres has joined us today from the 2nd District. Councilman, welcome.
So these property locations are all single-family homes purchased by Mr. Dempsey with Rust Belt LLC after March, April, and November of 2021. Therefore, they're all here. 1 unit for 2021 is Mr. Dempsey here, Representative Rust Belt LLC. I have not had any conversations with the property owner. Therefore, as they fail to appear, I would request that the board deny their appeal of the late fees for 2021.
Okay.
For all 3? Okay, I will make a motion then to deny their appeal and apply the late fees for all 3 properties for the year of 2021.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. 5630 Claude.
Okay, so it looks like Ms. Barajas is the owner of this property, listed as the owner since December 13th of 2011. They were in front of the board previously in 2014, but have registered on time since that time.
So we're just talking for last year?
Right, for 2021, single-family home.
Hi.
Aye.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm a little confused why I'm here, but I understand it's because the registration?
The rental registration?
Yeah,
Yeah, last year we didn't receive a registration for the property.
no.
Okay. So you're here to appeal the late fee. You filled out that appeal with the law department.
Mm.
So just explain to the board, maybe what happened, or if it was something that just prevented you from registering last year, or what the issue was, that's all.
All right. Okay,
Please.
what?
Just explain to them what happened last year.
Oh, yeah. It's because it was so hard for me to rent the property and then even receive the blue paper they received in the mail to register my house for rent.
Was it rented at all last year, Nick? Can you tell?
Yeah, so it was occupied, and she actually lives down the street, and as I stated before, there was only 1 action in 2014, but they have been on time since, and there's no red flags or issues with the property.
I mean, I would caution you, ma'am, that just because you don't receive that notification from the city in the mail doesn't take away your responsibility to pay between January 1st and April 15th of every year.
All right, that's fine.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion then to waive the late fee for 2021. And ma'am, you can pay that at the end of today's meeting if you'd like.
How much?
$5.
$5, you're gonna waive the late fee?
This year, I have the rental fee already paid.
Correct,
But
yeah.
For 20.
Typically, when they come down, if we notice that there's a year owed or there's previous rentals owed, we will allow them to register for the current year since they are
Right.
on time, as long as they show that they're appealing the year or, take care of what's previously done. So all we have to have her do is register for 2021. So you'll be able to, after the meeting, fill out the rental registration for last year and pay the $5 for last year because the board is waiving that late fee for you.
Okay,
Okay?
that's fine.
All right, thank you.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Nick. Okay, old business, item A, status. Mr. Bartholomew, thank you for your patience, sir. Yemenez Auto Repair.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
So the last time we were here, we had recently completed a survey and a title search on the property in an attempt to clear up some issues that had arisen with the proposed plan that was under consideration with Brian Poland. Since that time, we've taken the title search and the survey, we've presented it to our architect again. He's produced a modified plan in accordance with the changes and to remedy some of the issues that were identified by Mr. Poland. That plan, the new plan, has been resubmitted to Brian, and he's given us the all clear on that, said that he did not believe there were any outstanding issues with that plan. So I think from a perspective of going forward, we now know that we have a plan we can work with. There are a couple of issues that we still need to resolve. So with a good plan, we need to make sure that it's good on zoning. There are two options for that, and I've been discussing those with Brian. One would be the property is presently a non-conforming use as a car wash. It's still being operated as such. The new plan contemplates turning it into a auto repair shop. That's either going to require continued use or transferring over the prior non-conforming use for the auto repair shop, or a application with the Board of Zoning for a special use. I think Brian is more in favor of going before BZA. I'd like to see if I can negotiate the transfer of the non-conforming use. I think it would be a quicker, simpler process, but that's under investigation right now, which path we'll choose there. There was, let me grab my notes here. So there were, I guess, two other issues that we're working through with regard to the old business location. I'm informed there's two business licenses issued there.
Right.
That needs to be resolved. One of them is for a tire company, the other is for the present location of the auto repair shop. My client's not involved with the tire company, and which one came first? Do you know, was it the tire company or?
We were actually there first.
You were there, so
Yeah.
you had a business
Yeah.
on that
I think she
location, and
renewed it first, so it stayed.
if you want to step forward and.
Yeah, I think we had went through this already, that we brought Pepe's Tire Shop here. Yeah, we were actually there first, just that I think it was in one process where he ended up renewing it first and ours just fell back. So I think that
Yeah,
was
because you
like-
can't have two within
Yeah.
the same building. Yeah, we went through this. We've never had them here, though, nor the landlord, the actual owner. So,
Of the old,
of the building itself.
The property
The property
itself.
itself.
Yeah.
of the other location?
Yes,
the one-
correct.
Okay.
Correct, yes.
Well, I guess if we have to tackle the business license issue at that location, of course, we'll do that. But our hope at this stage would really be, with an approved plan, my client doesn't want to remain at that old location. He wants to move his business to the 47 15 locations, and we're going to have to get a new business license for that anyway, since presently it's as a car wash and it needs to be a auto repair shop. So my hope would be we could resolve that issue by simply moving the business, and then you've only got one remaining at that location. I think that's the totality of what's outstanding right now on both.
So Mr. Poland gave you a couple options, did he not? I'm just looking off the email you guys shooting each other yesterday. You can go variance use to the BZA or the council?
Correct. We either ask for a special use permit in front of BZA, or it might be permissible to maintain it as a prior non-conforming use.
Okay.
I'm a little bit unclear as to whether Mr. Poland would approve that prior non-conforming use, or whether it would have to actually go before BZA to transfer that over. So I need to have that discussion with him in a little bit further detail now that we know that the plans are good to go. So
Mr. Kearney, you're looking for approval for the plans from us today? Is that right?
That's correct.
For the diagram?
First step is going through zoning BZA, or if they get a special use. Then we're going to need plans on how they're going to convert the building from a car wash to auto repair. So, office space that's going to be needed and vans and such. So, from the inspections and building department, until they get cleared for BZA and we get drawings of what's going to be done, how it's going to be converted, we're at a standstill.
We got to set this for status then, probably?
I think that's a good idea.
So just to clarify our approach, I guess.
Sure.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but from your perspective, we need BZA before we can finalize here. That'll be, okay. All right, we'll go that route then.
So how much time do you think we need, Kelly?
At least 60 days. If nothing is progressed at that point, then we'll just set it for status again. But hopefully something will be happening by that time. I don't want to speak on Brian to be happy.
No, I understand, but I would think 60 days, we should at least get it in front of them one time.
I think that should be reasonable. I have no problems with 60 days.
Okay. All right, sir.
As is July 7th, I know that's a holiday week.
We should be fine.
Could be good. Good that day?
That should work.
Yeah, that's okay.
9 a.m.
Then I'm going to make a motion to set this for status to July 7th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
For joining us today, folks. All right. Okay, man. I think that's, not too much fractious today, right?
Not too much fractious at all.
I guess meeting's open to the public. Anyone here care to speak?
Name is Alvin Cheeks. I'm here for 3 matters. First, from my aunt that lives in the 1000 block of Cleveland, needs a stop sign at the end of the block. She's 90 years old. She's sending me messages right now in regards to high rates of speed right there by the school. One gentleman got beat up last night for coming close to a kid on a skateboard. I understand you guys saying an engineering study, but it's no stop sign there. It's a school less than 200 feet away. The school kids, that's a thoroughfare for the kids to get to Maywood School. I mean, I'm just telling you how it goes in our neighborhood. You hit a kid, it's going to be pretty brutal out there.
Okay.
So my aunt, every morning she texts me about that thing. I mean, Jeff been to our house before. It's been sitting there she's been sitting in that window for probably 60 years now. So she watches out that window every morning at the high rate of speed. That's the only corner that doesn't have a stop sign in that area. It's never been a stop sign there, and it's always been people getting hit. The other thing is Boy Scout Road, it's affecting all of my businesses because construction, so I hope you guys finish that out. Thank you.
Thank you.
What was the Boy Scout Road?
Excuse me, Alvin, Boy Scout Road, what's the issue with that? Can you go back?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. When the cars come through, and you trying to go like in the Walmart, or you trying to go in and they take that Boy Scout road, it's like desolate there, for women at night. It's not a.
Do we have the right road? Because Boy Scout Road
I
doesn't
might
go-
be saying the wrong road,
Yeah,
but
you are.
you know that road that goes over there by where they got the construction, you got to go back around and you got to use those side streets. I forget the name.
It's okay.
You talking about Walmart south or north?
No, north.
North.
And then you got to go around, and they got all the construction like by South Shore and all of that. So you got to. It's like hard to figure out how to get into the South Shore. So you got to go through the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they done it like that, but you got to go all the way around just to get back to the South Shore. So when you're taking those side streets at night, that's dangerous for women. So is it a way they can make it easier to get to the South Shore? Because how they got the detour line set up, I've never seen it where you got to go all the way around and then cut through a neighborhood just to get to the South Shore. I understand there's tracks on both sides, but it should be a way where you don't have to go down those dark streets just to get to the South Shore. I think I'm saying the right street. But you know how you go, just try it one day, try to get to the South Shore, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay, I think you're talking about Holman and Sheffield, that area.
Sheffield.
Right here,
correct.
the station right here, right? Off Holman?
Yeah, right here. Or let's say you get a fire truck call and you're trying to get to someone that's sick at the South Shore. You can't get there. I take the South Shore every day, and it's like you got to go all the way around and then come around. It's like you almost going into Illinois just to come back around just to get to the South Shore. It has to be a better detour, especially at night or someone that doesn't know the neighborhood. If you don't know the little ins and outs right there, you can't get to South Shore. Right. Then the Hispanic lady that lives right there, she say, Al, I can't go either way. It's like a gray house that sits right there. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. But if she wants to leave, she got to go all the way back around to it's like that little Chinese restaurant. It's a Chinese restaurant right there. So you got to go all the way back around to that old hardware store, and you can't cut down that alley, so you got to go back up to East Chicago Avenue. So it's like impossible to get to the South Shore station.
Okay.
Just try it one time. You'll see.
We know what you're talking about. We understand.
I think that's the right street, though.
It is.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alvin.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Morning.
Morning.
Name is Pete Torres. That's the bar right there. And it used to be our place, Michigan and Tell.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a sidewalk that's converted to a parking lot. Now, the people across the street, they're unable to be here today because of work schedule.
Okay.
But they keep complaining that cars pulling out of that parking lot run into their cars. They had, that bar's been open since October, because it was closed for a couple of years. Our place has got new owners. And they've had 3 incidents where cars just back up into that. It's sometime during the night. They drive in there and they back out. And they've had one damage that I saw. They were going to bring pictures if they could be here next week of at least $1,700 damage to their bumpers. So I was looking, and wish the attorney was here, or maybe the engineer can answer. If I can convert that parking lot and convert it back into a sidewalk.
Was that always a parking area for that place?
Not that, it's been since I've known it, but I don't know. At one time, it's a sidewalk, as you can see, the.
No, I get the
length.
sidewalk part. I can't believe we would be parking cars there.
Sir, I'm not aware of that.
Yeah.
Being made a parking lot.
Why can't
I'm
they
not,
park over
I
here?
don't
Yeah.
disagree, but to me, that shouldn't be permitted, right?
Like, I agree 100%.
Cars parking, that's,
No, it's definitely a sidewalk.
Yeah.
cars should not
At least
be
the,
permitted to park on
half
the
of it.
sidewalk.
Yeah, half of it is. I don't understand why they can't park in the gravel grass area behind the,
Right, they have plenty of room in that grassy area. It's a little bit bigger than what this picture shows. So they have room to make a small parking lot anyway.
It's a good one.
so what should we do? Should we?
That's enforcement, I mean, that's an enforcement thing. They shouldn't be parking on the sidewalk.
I'd like to start with maybe going there and talking to them and
But-
finding out why they think that's okay.
No, at one time, they were probably given permission to do that. That's the only way. I haven't talked to them either. But I'm sure, and this new owner just inherited that. But at one time, the city must have given them permission to do that. to park on
Or
the-
they just started doing that without permission. That would be my
That could be it too.
suspicion.
Either myself or Captain Bunner or both will go over there and talk to them to see if they got permission at some point. If they did, we'll let them know that they shouldn't have and it's going to change. So I think we can take care of it just talking to them. At least let's try that first.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, is there some signage we could probably put up there if this doesn't work out?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we could put no parking signs up.
Okay.
I mean, that'd be a public works thing, but
And
yeah.
I'll let you know at
okay.
maybe next week's meeting how that conversation
Yeah,
goes.
they're going to try to be here.
Okay.
It's a young couple, and they've never reported the accidents to police. They're scared of their insurance going up and all that, and so there's definitely damage to their cars that I saw, and they've had at least 3 since October.
Yeah, even if there wasn't, Councilman, they shouldn't be doing this. So,
Right,
yeah,
right, I agree.
We'll take care of it, one way or another.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else from the public?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.